Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn about functions in Python. Functions are important because they help us write reusable code. Instead of writing the same logic again and again, we can place that logic inside a function and call it whenever we need it. A function is a block of code that performs a specific task. It does not run automatically. It runs only when we call it. This makes the program cleaner and easier to manage. We start with a simple function that prints a few messages. Python first reads the function definition, but it does not run the statements inside the function yet. When we call the function, Python goes inside it and runs those statements. That is the basic idea of creating and using a function. Next, we move to arguments and parameters. Parameters are the names written in the function definition. Arguments are the real values we pass when we call the function. This allows one function to work with different values. In one example, the function accepts two values and prints them together. This shows how a function becomes flexible. We can call the same function many times with different input values. Then we learn about positional arguments. Positional arguments depend on order. The first value goes to the first parameter, and the second value goes to the second parameter. If we pass values in the wrong order, the result may not make sense. The greeting example shows this with first name and last name. When both values are passed in the correct order, the output looks right. After that, we use a subtraction example. This example is useful because subtraction depends on order. If we switch the numbers, the answer changes. So positional arguments are simple, but order matters. Now we look at keyword arguments. With keyword arguments, we pass values using the parameter names. Because of that, the order is less important. Python knows which value belongs to which parameter. This can make function calls easier to read. Next, we learn about arbitrary arguments, also called star arguments. Sometimes we do not know how many values will be passed into a function. Star arguments allow the function to accept any number of values. Python stores those values as a tuple. The cumulative sum example uses this idea. The function accepts many numbers, loops through them, adds them together, and returns the total. This means the same function can work with a few numbers or many numbers. Then we use another example where a function accepts multiple student names. This shows that star arguments are not only for numbers. They can also work with text values. After that, we see how star arguments work with normal parameters. If a normal parameter comes after star arguments, we must pass that value by name. Another example shows a cleaner version where the normal parameter comes first, and the remaining values are collected after that. Next, we move to arbitrary keyword arguments, also called double star arguments. These are used when we want to pass many key-value pairs into a function. Python stores them as a dictionary. This is helpful for details like student name, room number, teacher name, or other labeled information. Then we combine star arguments and double star arguments in one function. This means the function can accept regular extra values and labeled details together. This is useful when we want a flexible function. Now, we look at lambda functions. A lambda function is a small anonymous function. It is usually used for short operations. In the notebook, lambda is used to square a number and add two numbers. Lambda functions are helpful when the logic is small. But if the logic becomes longer, a normal function is usually better because it is easier to read. Next, we learn about map. The map function applies a function to each item in a list or another iterable. In the example, each number is squared. Then the result is converted into a list, so we can see the output. We also do the same task without lambda by creating a normal function first. This shows that map can work with both lambda functions and regular functions. After that, we learn about filter. Filter is used when we only want items that match a condition. In the example, we keep only the even numbers from a list. This is useful when we have many values and only want selected ones. Next, we learn about generators. A generator function gives values one at a time instead of returning all values at once. It uses yield instead of return. Generators can save memory because they do not store everything at the same time. The notebook first shows a normal function that returns a full list. Then it shows a generator that produces values one by one. When we loop through the generator, we get each value as it is produced. After that, we look at user input. Input lets the user type a value while the program is running. This makes the program interactive. Finally, we create a factorial function. A factorial means multiplying a number by all positive numbers before it. The function starts with 1, loops through the numbers, multiplies them, and returns the final result. So, to recap, functions help us organize code and reuse logic. We learned how to create functions, call them, pass arguments, use positional and keyword arguments, work with flexible arguments, use lambda, map, filter, generators, input, and factorial logic. The main thing to remember is that functions make Python programs cleaner and easier to manage. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and keep practicing Python step by step.